Hello everyone! Have you ever seen a dog this size? Or how a huge ray taking off right from beneath the water? You bet you haven't. So be it. We're gonna show you these unique shots and in addition, other unusual videos from around the internet. Let's go! In Australia, there is a museum with one unusual exhibit, whose name is Tim. This is a living person who can officially call himself a work of art. His task is to sit all day on a box within the four walls of the museum and to demonstrate tattoos made by a famous master. Do you think this could be considered a dream job? Tim considers himself an ordinary guy and doesn't deny he's doing something preposterous. In the end, not every adult will agree to just sit on a box, even for money. What does the future look like? Like a huge hologram of drones hanging in the air. More than 3,000 aircraft simultaneously rose into the sky over Shanghai, setting a new world record. And even though it was all just for the sake of advertising, the spectacle was impressive. We wonder who controlled all those babies. We would not be surprised if the drones were manually controlled by 3,000 operators. If you want to become the owner of something really unique, buy this pen. No, it's not covered with gold. There's just a living worm parasite inside it. Yes, it doesn't look very nice. Who do you think invented such a fancy pen? Of course, the Japanese. Parasitic nematodes float inside a special solution. Most often they infect fish, and if they get into the human body, they can cause an unpleasant infection. If you suddenly like chewing on pen caps, then this pen will surely break you of that bad habit. To participate in the act of creation, it's not necessary to become an artist or designer yourself. This exhibition in Pittsburgh will allow you to interact directly with the paintings of recognized classics. Isn't that brilliant? Even if you're not very fond of painting, such a museum would definitely be worth a visit. And if you fly over Oregon Route 18, you can see this surprising picture. Hey, that fella's smiling at us. That's local foresters who decided to put people in a good mood and planted larches among the evergreen firs. Although they are coniferous, they turn yellow in the fall. So it's at this time of the year that you can see a smiley face. Wave goodbye and we'll go on. There is a small town in Alaska that consists of only one house. Can you imagine all 200 residents of a town called Witter are housed in this large 14-story building? Inside they have a laundry, market, convenience store, and even a church in the basement. They also took care about the children. They get to school through an underground tunnel connected to a high-riser. Probably not going outside for months is not very good, but when you live in Alaska, it can save your life. It happens to you sometimes. You want a tattoo from a cool master, but he lives too far away. Now, there's no problem. Thanks to 5G technologies, you can get a tattoo remotely.
Okay, let's go.
That'll require a robotic hand, high-precision sensors, and a couple of brilliant programmers though. But the guys from the Netherlands did it all. The actress Stine Fransen became the first owner of a tattoo made by a robot. Maybe it doesn't look like a masterpiece, but no one in the world has the same one. Do you remember when you were a child, your toys broke their arms, legs, and even their heads came off? It turns out that all this time in Portugal, there was a place where they could be cured. Yes, that's a real doll hospital, and it has been working since 1830. The hospital room is more like a warehouse of old toys of various shapes. And although many of them look strange and creepy, the main purpose of the hospital is to give joy to children, not to frighten them. However, now children aren't interested in dolls anymore. They're rather interested in cool experiments in TikTok. One of those is to deep fry water. First, with the help of gelatin, a water ball is made, which is then breaded and put into hot oil. Scientists warn that if water gets into boiling oil too quickly, it can lead to explosions or fire. So it's better to use a deep fryer for its intended purpose, to cook delicious French fries, for example. And here's another trick. What do you think it is? It turns out that this is what a regular CD looks like. The guy decided to show his subscribers how he had fun as a child. Imagine, if you remove film from a CD and heat it with the hairdryer, you can get an advanced version of soap bubbles. It seems that now you know what to do with old movies and video games. Another trend from TikTok. The author of the video decided to cast a Coca-Cola bottle into bioresin. This is a transparent material that quickly hardens and turns anything into a ready-made exhibit. In other videos, he casts a game controller, a Nerf gun, and even an iPhone. And the icing on the cake is Big Mac. Surely someday the aliens will find this masterpiece and puzzle over solving its mystery for a long time. Do you have any idea how else you can use this substance? Write your options in the comments. Football was invented in England, but in Germany, they came up with something cooler, car football. Now you'll see a match between Ireland and Germany.
Oh, was macht der denn hier? Jetzt geht da hinten der Kofferraum auf bei Joey Kelly.
Don't you agree that it's a spectacular sport? In just 5 minutes, we've seen everything. A torn bumper, powerful collisions, and a bunch of goals. Unfortunately, only 2 cars participate in the contest. Now imagine what would happen on the field if each team consisted of 11 cars. In ordinary soccer would just fall into oblivion.
Bringt sich da in Position und den Ball besser nach vorne spielen. Boah, Kelly wieder mit viel Dampf, wieder sehr aggressiv.
We know that some birds like to swim, but flying fish is a rarity. Horned rays don't mind flapping their wings. No one knows exactly why these animals jump out of the water. According to one version, this is how they get rid of parasites. According to another, they attract the attention of females. In any case, it looks amazing. On Christmas Island, near Australia, every year you can see an unusual picture. Millions of crabs cross cities and roads to lay eggs. Local activists decided not to risk the lives of the crustaceans and built a suspension bridge for them. And it's worth saying, crabs actively use it. We don't know how did they earn such a gift, but now they'll definitely reach the final destination of the route. The one who will surely get to the finish line is that runner. He trains according to a special technique, in a stream of rarefied air. The plastic shield on the trailer significantly reduces the airflow resistance, so the athlete runs faster and gets used to high speed sooner. Well, now you know how the Olympic champions train. Life hack: if you accidentally stumble upon a sugar glider, just show it your palm. Like an experienced ninja, the little animal will land directly on your hand at one blow. Admit it, it was created just for slow motion. Apparently, these guys are so fond of flying that they never miss an opportunity to do it dramatically. Flying taxi. Is it some distant future? No, it's the here and now. Yes, similar cars exist in our time. Maybe they don't have cool plasma engines, but they cope with the task quite well. The company Joby Aviation has recently entered the transport market, but has already won the attention of major investors. Technology is becoming more accessible, which means that the time is not far off when we'll move only by air. Do you like big dogs? How about the huge ones? We have to admit, we deceived you a little. In fact, that's not a mutant dog, but just a sculpture of a Great Dane by the artist Peter Coffin. He's very fond of unusual art objects, so his giant dog seems to hover a few centimeters above the ground. But the main thing is that the Great Dane turned out to be very impressive and realistic. Beware villains, a new hero has come. Yet so far it doesn't know how to detain criminals, but it already helps the police during special operations with all its might. As you might have guessed, that's a robot dog of the famous Boston Dynamics Corporation. Now it'll be patrolling the streets of New York. The police department has bought a couple of smart machines to try them out. Now the robot is just learning to be useful, but soon it'll prove itself. So, are you ready for the rise of the machines? And if it ever happens, that guy here will save us. You know he's not joking. Robot is just learning to be useful, but soon it'll prove itself. So, are you ready for the rise of the machines? And if it ever happens, that guy here will save us. You know he's not joking. We need you to sign up for Mind Warehouse. No, seriously, you better not upset the Terminator. So, quickly click on the link, and just in case, we beat feet.